back to Hillbilly Adventures. Today we're going to be talking about Team Losi JR T. And yes, I have a Junior T. And let me tell you about this machine right here. So when I was a kid, one of my first jobs was working in a restaurant. And I saved my money and I bought my first new in the box RC. Now previously I had bought a lot of used ones because that's all I could afford, you know. But this time I spent the big bucks. I think it was a little over $100, like $118 or something like that, for a Team Losi Jr. T. And I went with the Junior T because it was cheaper than the JR T, and I couldn't afford the JR T. But I was pleasantly surprised with the Junior T. Now this one I have before me is the original somewhat. Let me tell you what happened. So when the first one I bought was it had the white body. If you guys have ever looked at a Team Losi Jr. T online or seen them back in the day, they came with some pre-painted versions, and the one that I got was white, and I loved that thing, and it was a really good machine. And I left it at the house and went somewhere. I don't remember if I was at work or with friends or what. And my little brother decided to play with it while I was gone. And he got it ran over. He was in the street messing with it, and he said some dude swerved into the ditch and crushed my Junior T. I was livid. Very upset because I'd worked so hard to buy it, and my parents were poor, and I mean they couldn't afford to just spring for another $100 toy because of something he did. So I collected the parts that were good from the original, and I put them in a toolbox. Actually, it was a tackle box, but I used it as a RC toolbox. And I forgot about them. And there were a lot of good parts in there. Transmission and, bulkhead and a few other things that survived getting ran over by, I think it was like a Dodge Charger or something. So anyway, I saved my money again. And this time I bought one that had a clear body that I could paint myself. And I painted it red, and I did not put any of the stickers on it. It was just blood red, nothing on it. And I took that thing and I won a bunch more blue ribbons and a few red ribbons. It was both of the Junior Ts I had did extremely well in stadium truck competitions. And it was funny because there were a lot of kids that had a lot more money than I did, and their parents had, bought them whatever they wanted. And here I was with my cheapo economy RC tearing them up. Nobody could hang with me. And so as I got older, that RC got put up in the attic. And my brother went through a divorce with a lady. He was living with my mom and dad, and she was there with him. And when she moved out, I think she took my RC with her, which, if you're watching this, lady, please give me my other one back. Please. It doesn't belong to you, and it didn't belong to my brother. It was mine, and I was never mean to you. I was very nice to you. So, with that being said, yeah, like that's going to happen. That thing's probably been in a pawn shop and long gone. So anywho, years passed, right? I was in my early 40s, and my dad was cleaning out the attic, and he found that tackle box with a bunch of parts in it, and he said, "Hey," he said, "do you want this stuff? If not, I'm gonna throw it away." And I said, "What is it?" He said, "It's some of your RC stuff from a long time ago." And I opened the box, and my mouth just fell wide open. And I thought, my junior T was long gone. And the second one I had was, but the first one I had was right there in parts and pieces. So I immediately took it home, cleaned up everything, and I got on the internet and I went searching. And piece by piece, I bought everything it needed that was broken from being run over by a car, including the chassis. And I put the original Junior T parts that I had from the white one onto this thing, and I recreated that exact truck. Except I kind of blended the two. When I got a clear body, they were remanufacturing them at some place in Canada, and I bought a body and I painted it up like the one I painted, because the white one, I never was keen on that paint job anyway, but the red was just me. I kind of felt like the red, like the Red Baron. I painted my stuff blood red. It was like, watch out, buddy, here I come. I wanted them to see me coming. But anyway, without further ado, here it is. This is my original Junior T plus a few parts to put it back together in all of its glory. And I just like that clean look without the stickers back then. I still dig it now. And I did run this thing, and I've got a little bit of a ding right there from running into something. And I just couldn't help myself. I was just like, I got back out there and I was running this thing and having a ball. It was just like I was 16 all over again. So let's look and see what's under the hood. Now with this one, I went and I bought everything, and I mean everything that I had in my race version, and I put it back together exactly as best I can remember how the other one was. So yes, that's from a Tamiya Blackfoot. I had one of those super glued into mine. This isn't super glued. I used shoe goo. Futaba ESC, that's what I always ran right there. I got a Futaba radio receiver. Yeah, and that's exactly what I ran. I actually have the Futaba radio over here somewhere. Probably I'll have to look for it. It's not hanging up. So anyway, crazy thing. Trinity motor. You can see that. And now the gear set, this is the gear set I switched to, but I actually had a Hydra drive, and I never liked the Hydra drive. I had a lot of trouble with the Hydra drive, and this was the final combination that I came up with when I gave up on the Hydra drive, and I didn't put the Hydra drive back on. The cool thing about the Team Losi transmissions was, I don't know if you can see it, that little red rubber boot right there. You could pull that off, stick your Allen wrench in there, and you could adjust the differential to give it either more slip or almost make it posi track. But anyway, oh yeah, of course you got to have the Car Action magazine sticker on the front. This is actually original right here, this part. I did not have to buy that. So anyway, this thing right here is just, man, yeah, it is what it is. I love this thing, and it ain't for sale. It ain't ever going to be for sale. It's going to live here, and then after I'm dead and gone, you guys can fight for it on eBay. Yeah. But I really enjoyed running vehicle. It made me feel good to be able to take something that was pretty inexpensive and just absolutely beat the dog crap out of guys who had a whole lot more expensive cars. And we used to call ourselves, the guys used to call ourselves poor boys racing, and that was pretty true. And I'm just so glad that my dad was going through the attic and found this thing. I do have a few spare parts. When I ordered the chassis, it had a transmission, so I have an extra transmission, but I put my original transmission back in it because it just felt right. I mean, they're exactly the same. The gears are the same. The casings are the same. There's no difference. I don't know, just nostalgia, I guess. I just wanted my transmission back in this machine. And anyway, there it is, guys. The Junior T. You get on eBay, if you find one in excellent shape, they'll cost you an arm and a leg. Finding parts are not cheap. There's a lot of guys out there that love the vintage Team Losi stuff, and I'm one of them. I've always been a Team Losi fan, and Team Losi offered me a vehicle I could afford back then that basically built up my confidence and made me feel really good. Being able to get out there and win, for very little money. Anyway, let me see if I can find the radio real quick. I think it's over here. Of course, I didn't have it ready. Sorry about that. Normally I'm better prepared. That's a lie. I'm never prepared for a video. This is the radio I actually ran back then. That's the exact same radio. Now this isn't my original from when I was a kid. It's the exact same model. So if anybody sees one of these out here and the handle grips have been painted royal blue, hit me up. I'll buy my original radio back. I don't care if it works or not. That was me. I took model paint and painted the little grips here blue so I could distinguish mine from others. On both sides it was blue, like a dark royal blue. And I like this Futaba radio, man. I dig it. It's a good one. It still works to this day. This one here. This one I got off of eBay. And shoot, man, I put it in this truck and I drove this truck. Actually, this thing is still kind of got some dirt on it. I didn't realize it was this dirty before I shot this. I need to clean it. I actually run this truck from time to time, even to this day. I'm not afraid of it getting hurt because Team Losi, they made tough trucks. And this thing, the chassis is a composite chassis. The plastic's really good. All these years later, this thing is, I would put it up against my brand new Traxxas Slash any day. The Slash might beat it, but rough and tumble, I'm not worried about it breaking anything. I can't say that about the older vintage Traxxas vehicles. I can say that about a Team Losi vehicle. They made stuff tough back then, and it's still holding up today enough that I would dare run the thing. And not just run it hard. Well, with that being said, I just heard the eBay calling me. Hopefully some people are buying some of this stuff so I can afford to buy more junk. Anyway, guys, get out there, have fun with RC, and we'll catch you next time.